This afternoon we're going to take a look at a two-piece OE shaft from my customer Chris. It's for a Volvo project of his, and Chris is a Volvo guy. And so the ask on this one was that he had this chassis trying to get going, and he had two pieces of a two-piece shaft, each piece, but they didn't start out together. One piece was from one chassis and one piece was lost apparently for this chassis, so the combination of the two, he wanted to get them working as good as he could. And so this is what we're doing, and there's going to be a little explanation after that. I've done a considerable amount of work on Volvo shafts for Chris and a few other people, and the common denominator of the problem area is that guy right there I'm pointing. I'm not picking on Volvos or Volvo people by any means, but the center bearings on these cars, they're not the same as even like the stuff we'd have on just an F-150 or something. I mean, these things, the word I would describe them is coarse. I'll hold my phone down by there. You can hear it's making noise. And yeah, this is an old bearing, blah, blah, blah. You can change it. I've had brand new ones do this exact same thing. They are just coarse. They're not precision piece like some of the other bearings. And it works for Volvos. I don't know what to say. But, so back to cases here. This front section, I got it tuned up pretty good. Having said what I just said, we're not going to hold this to the same criteria as I normally do. If you guys watch my videos, you know it's zeroed out. Part of the problem is this rubber element here that surrounds the actual bearing itself, it's about as soft as the pillow you lay your head on at night. And it's mushy. And they don't really do a adequate job of controlling the bearing. Never mind, it sounds like it's got square rollers in it, but I swear to you, I've had brand new ones come from, Volvo, quote, doing the air quotes, garages, and they say, oh yeah, no, we got to spray oil in them all the time. Like, we shouldn't have to. We don't do it on the other ones. And so we'll go through this, and then we'll talk about our history on Volvo repair drive shafts that I've done for Chris in the past. So let's turn at 2,500 RPM, zero at the transmission, dead flat zero. It's a fuzzy 2 with a chirp, and I'm just going to put this down here. At the center bearing, and I mean, there's really no energy there. It's just, I feel it turning, but there's nothing there. And zero at the rear axle. I did index this around this back section in relationship to the front section. Well, it had 4 possibilities, and naturally I hit the lucky one on the 4th, and that's where it ran the best, and I tuned on it from that point, so she's tuned up. So we're going to say this is a win for Chris's current needs. And previously we had chased, and I gave it the name the Volvo Shakes because I'd had not only just Chris, I'm not picking on him, or Volvos, I want to make that clear, or Volvo guys that have Volvos. But I have built drive shafts for other Volvos that had V8 swaps and eliminated the center bearing, and that shake problem just was gone. And so I suggested that to Chris somewhere in here, I don't know where, that I could do that for his stock Volvo and just eliminate the center bearing. You got a nagging, just minimal vibration in some of the chassis, not all, but I've seen it in at least, I don't know, 4 or 5 cars, not all Chris's either. And somebody had to bite on my theory. I don't own a Volvo to experiment on, but we did it to Chris's on, you can look at video 136, that's a couple of years ago, or a few years ago, and that solved it. I talked to Chris today about it, and he's like, yeah, that's the ticket right there. So, I would encourage anybody, if they got questions about, no, you could put a bearing on it, before you harp at me, watch them other videos, and or talk to Chris, because he'll tell you that fixed it. So we're going to say this is a win for this guy, for this chassis that he's getting going, and we'll get it back to Chris.